If you could only watch one video on ChatGPT, it has to be this one, because the quality of the prompts that you give it will determine the quality of the responses that you're getting in return. So make sure you master your prompts. Hi everyone, I'm Keshi and welcome to Talk Nerdy to Me. Today we'll be talking about mastering prompts in ChatGPT, or like I like to say, the most important part of learning ChatGPT. We'll be talking about everything from the basics of prompts to the craft framework and onto more advanced prompt engineering. So this might be my favorite video out of the ChatGPT series that I'm starting. So without further ado, let's get into it. So prompting is the art of asking ChatGPT in the right way, because the clearer your request is, the better the response. So the quality of your prompt or your request will determine the quality of your answer or response here. Just think of it like giving directions to a friend. Vague instructions will probably just lead to vague results, whereas if you give clear instructions and directions, then you'll probably have a better outcome out of it. So let's start right away with the craft framework for prompts. The craft framework is how ChatGPT itself tells you it wants to be talked to. And craft stands for context, role, action, format, and tone. Let's break those down. C is for context, so give it background on the situation. R is role, so give ChatGPT a persona, a role to be. Tell it who it has to be to help you better. A is action, so that's just you stating what you actually want, like ask the question, ask what you want. F is format, to specify the structure that you want it in. Do you want it in bullet points, in like essay format, in a table? And T is for tone, so the mood of whatever you need to be written. Do you want it to be professional? Do you want it to be funny? Do you want it to be sarcastic, casual? Let it know your tone or your mood. For example, a very good prompt would be, you are a professional nutritionist. Create a 1-week meal plan for a Canadian couple in their 20s, presented in a table using a friendly tone. So you're telling ChatGPT you are a professional nutritionist. That's GPT's role. Create a 1-week meal plan. So that's the action. Create the meal plan for a Canadian couple in their 20s. So that's the background. That's the context. That's the format, using a friendly tone. Again, that's the tone. That's the mood. And it does deliver. So it gives us our answer, our 1-week meal plan in a table format using a friendly tone. And providing all 5 of those elements will give us the best prompt, the strongest prompts, so that we can get the strongest output or answers or response from ChatGPT. Remember that clear prompts lead to clear or better answers, and you really have to be specific about what you want. Again, that's what ChatGPT says it wants. That's how it wants to be talked to. So that was the basics. But we're not here for the basics now, are we? We're here for mastering prompts. And mastering means advanced prompts. Pun, pun, pun. So once you master the basics, you can build more advanced prompts. That includes prompt chaining, role play, constraints, rules, adding all of those things. So let's dive into each one. Prompt chaining. That one is breaking a big problem into steps. So for example, you can first ask for an outline of something and then expand each section. For example, here we're going to ask for an outline of a YouTube script that we could make on gardening. Then after we have our outline, we can expand each section. But we can also ask it all together in one. We can say first outline the YouTube video or a YouTube video for my channel about gardening, then expand each section so I have a full word-for-word script. Another thing that I could do is to give it a sample of something and to get it to use that knowledge based on those samples to do something else. For example, I could give ChatGPT examples of captions that I've used in previous videos on gardening and then say, here are 3 sample captions that I have on gardening. Now write 5 more in the same style. So for that video that it generates, based on my previous video captions, now it's going to have a similar style of caption for the new one. Could be the same for titles or for thumbnails or anything like that. So it's using the examples that I'm giving it and it's creating it based on that. Roleplay prompts allows you to put ChatGPT in character. Again, remember how I said give it a role. Now, the role doesn't just have to be you are a nutritionist. It could be something like pretend you're Steve Jobs, pitch me a new iPhone. Let's actually try this exact prompt and see what it gives us. So here's what it gives us. And actually, I really like that. That's the funniest I've seen ChatGPT so far. So you can role play with it by just saying, pretend you're this and that. Now, something else that you can do is give it constraints and rules. So you can limit the scope of what it needs. For example, write 3 YouTube captions for my video on gardening, but make sure that they are under 50 words each. Or let's do something else. Give me 3 other ideas that I could have on my gardening channel, but keep each idea under 50 words. Now let's try to constrain it even more and ask for a 50-word total for the 3 ideas. And let's see what it gives us. So as you can see, even with that constraint, so it does constrain it more, but it comes up with an answer for us regardless. Just keep in mind that advanced reasoning is stronger in GPT-4, 4.0, and GPT-5 compared to the free 3.5 version. However, when I've tried different prompts on the free and paid version, so on the 3.5 versus the 5, a lot of it had similar answers just based on the prompts I was giving. Again, I know sometimes just based on before only having free and not really only using the paid one, I noticed how much better it is now just overall. But I think just AI in general and ChatGPT in general, all the versions just got better. However, ChatGPT itself says that it is better in the version 5 compared to the 3.0. So especially for things that require advanced reasoning, if you have the paid version, you will probably get the best answer that it could come up with. Now, ChatGPT actually excels at generating lists and structured outputs. So some examples would be if you want to brainstorm some lists, you can say, give me 10 hobbies for Canadians living off-grid. And it gives us the hobbies. Now we can filter this list out and we can say sort this list into popular versus unique options. And that's what we get. Let's keep going. We can even expand it. We can say add 3 more unusual ones. So now we have 10 hobbies, some are popular, some are unique. We're adding 3 more unusual ones. There we go, that's awesome. But turning lists into interactive tables with formatting works best with ChatGPT 4.0 and 5, again, compared to the other versions. So that was a little on the lists. And to be honest, lists are ChatGPT's bread and butter. I feel like that's what it does best. Generating lists, helping you brainstorm, sorting, filtering, expanding, things like that, and even turning it into different formats. So that's it for today on prompts. So that was mastering ChatGPT prompts for this episode. I hope you enjoyed that one. If you need more basic knowledge of ChatGPT, if you think that, yeah, okay, good, but I don't even know, I've never really used it, I don't really know the basics of it, I kind of need a refresher, go watch last week's video, which is the first episode of this series about just the basics of ChatGPT. And if that was too easy for you already, then maybe next week's video is going to provide a little bit more of a challenge. It's going to help you a little bit more. Next week, we're going to be talking about solving complex problems using ChatGPT, as well as productivity hacks and task management. And by task management, I mean the tasks feature that is available in the paid ChatGPT version. We'll also be talking about some everyday applications, such as how you can turn ChatGPT into your own private little language tutor. So if you're excited about that, make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell notifications so that you get reminded when this next video comes up later this week. But for now, I welcome any feedback that you have on the video in the comments below, as well as any other video suggestions that you have for me. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye for now.